using the HP 9114 external disk drive with the HP portables. It's very important to back up your data. You create files and you store it into your RAM disk on the portable, but there's going to become a time where you're going to run out of E-disk or RAM space, and you're going to want to back up some of your files, and so to clear off space for your more current work. It's also just important for safety reasons. You should always, no matter what computer you're using, have an extra copy of any important files. And we'll see there's two ways of backing up your data, two easy ways anyway. And one is by using an HP 9114 disk drive. Where you can actually put information on a disk directly from the HP portable onto the disk. The other way, and we'll see in a minute, is by connecting the HP portable with a desktop computer, an IBM compatible such as this compact. So let's first look at the HPIL 9114 disk drive. To connect the portable with the disk drive, you need to use, again, those two thin black wires. In fact, as you'll see in a second, we can use a number of HPIL devices, such as the printer here and the disk drive, and connect it in one large loop. And that's what we're going to do. Right now, I'm taking one of the HPIL cords that's in back of the Portable Plus, and I'm putting it in one of these two HPIL sockets. So I'm going to plug it in here. And then I'm going to take another HPIL cord, and I am going to put the cord in another of the sockets. There. And now I have one loose end to complete the loop. And what I need to do is just plug this back into the Portable Plus. So I'm going to get up and plug that into the Portable Plus. And what we have is actually a circular loop of the three HPIL cords. Each is connected to, one is connected to the next, which is connected to the next, which is connected back to the portable. I'm going to turn on the 9114 disk drive by just pushing the switch in the back. And I'm going to insert this disk, which has a program called File Plus on it. I'm going to insert this disk by just sticking the disk in there. You may have heard the click. And we're ready to use an external disk drive. Now, if we go into PAM, File Manager, we're going to go F2 File Manager. We can choose F4, choose a directory, and we'll do that. And the directory we're going to choose is now the C drive, C:. And this is actually the C drive, so we're going to press Return. And it asks us to F1 to start, so we're going to start. And what's happening right now, it's reading the files on this C disk. And it turns out, you may be able to see, there is a number of files that are listed on the C drive. So let's exit. And something very interesting is going to happen. We're going to see, let me get my pointer here, we're going to see that a new C application just showed up. It says Install File Plus, or File PLU. It's saying install a program called File Plus. What I've in fact inserted in the disk is what we call a master disk. If you ordered a product called File Plus from us, you would get a disk that's similar to what I inserted into the 9114 disk drive. And the disk would be made up in such a way that you can automatically install the program, the File Plus program, into your A drive from the C drive. And that way you don't have to really know much at all, just follow the simple instructions. So let's just go through this installation procedure, because both Hewlett-Packard and our company Personalized Software creates master disks structured in this way for easy installation. So I'm going to move the cursor down and then across to install File Plus. I'm going to press Return. And what happens, you'll see, is that I get asked two questions. The first question is, where should the program be installed? And we want to install the program onto the A drive. And it says the default is the A drive, which means that all I have to do is press Return. And then it asks me whether a remove utility should be provided so that I could automatically uninstall the program off of my A drive or RAM disk. And let's do it. In fact, the default is yes, so all I have to do is press Return. Now what's happening is the program is being copied from the 9114 drive into the A drive automatically. And in about 10 seconds, the copying process will be completed, and we'll be returning to the PAM screen. Now we return to the PAM screen, and we see several other applications that have been added to it. If we look at the very top, we still see DOS commands, but now it says File Plus A, which tells us the program File Plus has been installed on the A drive. And because we answered yes to a question that was asked a minute ago, we have the ability to remove File Plus right from the A drive if we choose. So, in our usual fashion, I'm going to move the cursor to File Plus. I'm going to press Return. And a file manager called File Plus will appear on the screen. And this is a program that allows us to easily transfer information from one directory to another. So right now I'm going to press, it tells us F2 for help. And so I'll press F2. And since I know the program, I know that F6 wants us to prompt us for a new path for the right window. So in other words, I'm going to press F6, and then I'm going to type C:, press Return. And what's going to happen is that very shortly we're going to have a listing of files that are on this 9114 external disk drive. And so we have two directories showing at once, the files that are on our Drive A RAM disk and the files on our Drive C external disk. Now we'll queue. We've got a similar Lotus type, editor type menu where we can either actually in this case tab over to where we want to go, which is quit, or we could have just typed the letter Q. Press Return, and we'll be returning back to PAM. Now, it actually takes a little bit longer for PAM to restore itself because it looks not only to the B drive for ROM, it looks to the A drive for RAM programs, and it looks to the C drive to see if there are any programs that are stored on the 9114 external disk drive. Recharging rules for maximizing battery life. Whenever possible, leave the recharger plugged into the HP 110, HP Portable Plus, and HP 9114 disk drive. Only recharge the ThinkJet for a 24-hour period when the red PWR light is blinking. Otherwise, do not recharge the ThinkJet. Transferring information between an IBM PC compatible and an HP portable. It's possible to quite easily transfer information between your portable and an IBM PC or an IBM PC compatible. The easiest way of doing this is purchasing a simple card that's relatively inexpensive. It is a card that actually you insert into your IBM PC compatible. And if we look at the end of the card, we see two, what now should become familiar signs here, these two empty holes that we can put our HPIL cords into. Now, the compact computer that we have over here has one of these cards already installed. And we have connected to the compact. We've put in our two HPIL cords, and we're now going to put these same cords in the back of the Portable Plus. And so I'm going to need to get up here and plug it in. There's one. There's another. And we are now connected. To use the two computers together, we have to make the HP Portable a slave to the compact computer. We have to fool the compact computer into thinking that the HP Portable is just another disk drive. To make it a slave, we just simply type a command, HP HP link, which is the name of some built-in software into both the 110 and Portable Plus. We press return, and a message appears on our screen. It tells us that the program is being invoked. Now let's move over to our compact. And I am going to type a very simple command. I'm going to type dir :. And what we'll see is some very familiar files. What we see, let's look at, for our favorite file, the file keypad. There's a keypad over there. And what we find is that what we've done is we've done a directory listing of the files on the RAM A drive, which is the D drive from the compact's point of view. So if I wanted to transfer a file, let's say I want to transfer, let's say file keypad. Here's file keypad. The other one was a backup file that the editor created for us. But here's file keypad. So let's say I wanted to copy it onto our compact. I would just type copy, which is the DOS copy command, D:, keypad, and press return. And what is happening right now is that that file keypad is on the compact. So if I disconnected the portable, before I'm going to do that, I'm just going to press any key to exit the Portable Plus. So I'm just going to type the return key. And then it says press any key to return to PAM. So I'm going to press return. I'm going to be back at PAM. Now I'm going to disconnect the cords that are in the back of the Portable Plus. And I'm going to do a simple command, dir key star, which will list our keypad file. And we see that there is keypad, which is on the compact. So we were successful in making the copy. Connecting an HP Portable to a serial HP DeskJet printer. It's possible to connect the HP Portable to any serial printer. And we're going to show you right now how you can connect an HP Portable to the HP DeskJet printer, which is a wonderful printer that allows you to print actually higher than letter quality, 300 dots per inch. And it's a very relatively inexpensive printer for the quality of the output. So let's just show you how to make the connection. The first thing that we have to do is to make the connection with the serial cable. I've already connected the serial cable to the DeskJet, so now to the portable, we just simply put the HP cable, and it's very, very, very important to get the right cable, the right part number, and so we just push it in. It's, by the way, the 92221P cable, and every letter in there is important, so we're going to screw this in here, and we will very shortly be able to talk to our DeskJet. So the cable ought to be in well enough. We'll turn the computer around. Hopefully you can see the screen now again. And we are going to, we're getting now ready. The second step to print to the DeskJet is to press the F6 system config. As you'll remember, just a few minutes ago, we configured our printer interface as HPIL. So let's move the cursor down to printer interface. And we now have a serial printer. We don't have an HPIL printer, so we better tell the portable about it. We press F3, next choice, and serial's our choice, and we're almost in business. We press exit, to register the fact that we now are printing to a serial printer. And we have one other configuration screen that we need to go to. It's the F5 Datacom config. So as soon as the screen comes back, it's back. We'll press F5 Datacom config. And we need to tell the HP Portable parameters. And all this information can be found in the DeskJet or any printer manual that you happen to have. The transmission rate in this case is 9600 baud. And we want to go next choice because it needs to be 8 stop bits. And the parity is none. Oops, there we go, back to none. And now we're set up to print to the DeskJet. To print to the DeskJet, we're going to go back into Memo Maker. In fact, this time, let's use the editor. Let's use the editor here. And we get into the editor, and we're going to edit our usual file, which is keypad. We press return, and we're going to print. And to print, we just have to tell the editor the range. So we're going to go escape define marker, which says define a marker at the beginning of the item to print. We're now going to move to the end, and we're going to go escape block print. And perhaps you can hear the very quiet beginnings of the printing process. And what's happening now is the document is being printed right to the DeskJet printer. One thing I'd like to say about the DeskJet is the best thing you can do is follow the instructions that I just gave for configuring the DeskJet rather than what's in the DeskJet manual. The DeskJet manual is actually needlessly confusing about configuring the HP Portable to the DeskJet. And right now, emerging from the DeskJet is our letter quality, high quality output, and it's about to eject the page. And here's the first page of our document, nicely printed out in very fine quality. Part 5, additional products that enhance the usefulness of the HP Portables. There are a number of products that, depending on your needs, will enhance the use of your HP Portables. And in this section, we're going to go through just a few of the over 60 additional products that our company actually sells for the HP 110 and Portable Plus to enrich and enhance your particular computer. The Portable Paper, an encyclopedia of useful information about the HP 110 and Portable Plus. We've been publishing the Portable Paper since January of 1986. And it's literally an encyclopedia of knowledge on tips and tricks and other products that work with HP Portables. Hundreds of ideas of reader letters sharing their experience, reviews of products. There are just so many varied uses of the Portable. And the wonderful thing about the Portable Paper is that users throughout the world, HP Portable users throughout the world, have adopted it as theirs. And so when you scan through the pages of a Portable Paper, you'll see contributions of readers from 40 different countries throughout the world. When we started editing the Portable Paper, it was a relatively small journal of 28 to 32 pages. It's now as big as 52 pages. We have an example here of our latest issue in which we feature database software on the Portable Plus and a discovery that we can make WordPerfect 5.0 run on the Portable Plus. I'd absolutely recommend the Portable Paper to any serious Portable user, even if you're halfway serious, because many of the columns are geared towards novice users so tutorials of how to do this thing or that thing, and many other articles are geared towards intermediate users, people that are used to the system. And finally, there are columns that are for advanced users, programmers, and so on. Sidewinder, printing Lotus spreadsheets sideways to the HP ThinkJet printer. We've actually already showed you an example at the very beginning of using Sidewinder. This is probably our most popular product because people invariably want to print their Lotus spreadsheet sideways. Again, looking at the example, we're able to capture all the months on one page when we use Sidewinder. The Norton utilities: recover deleted or damaged files, sort directories, find file containing specified text, protect files, much more. If I had to recommend one product that all HP Portable users, in fact any MS-DOS user, should have, it would be the Norton utilities. The Norton utilities invariably will save you hours of time and even agony in its ability, for example, to recover lost files. For a brief illustration, let's turn to the computer and we'll show you an example of two of the, at least my favorite, Norton utilities. So to use Norton, we're going to enter DOS commands. So the cursor's pointed to DOS. I press return. And I am going to type a command to recover files that I've erased. That particular command, it's one of the Norton utilities, is called QU. And to run the program, all I have to do, QU, or quick on erase, is type QU and press return. And in this particular instance, it tells us there are no erased files in this directory. In other words, I haven't erased a file to unerase. So let's do a DOS dir, which is a directory of files. And let's say, remember that keypad memo that we worked so hard on and we've changed the name from touch? Let's say that I delete it. So I'm going to type DEL for delete and then keypad. You could, of course, have deleted keypad from PAM using the file manager, but because we're in DOS, I'm going to delete it this way. Now if we do a dir to list the file directory, we find that no more keypad. Suppose we had deleted that by mistake. If we were PAM, maybe we pointed to the wrong file, or there's just any number of ways we could have deleted the file by mistake. Now we'll type QU, and it tells us there's one erased file in this directory, and it can be quick unerased. All it asks us for is whether we want to actually unerase it, and we do, so we type W. And it says we don't really know, it doesn't know what the first letter of the file is, so I'll type K, and that file, keypad, has been unerased. And if we do a dir again, the keypad is back. Well, you may ask, well, if you erased it, how can we retrieve it? And the answer is, the way DOS works, or PAM works, when you delete a file, you don't actually destroy it in RAM. What you destroy is the entry into the directory that stores information about files. In other words, just like an address book, a telephone directory will tell you the address of somebody, there is a directory inside that DOS keeps that tells the address, where the location in RAM of the files are. Now, if you deleted the page of the telephone book of an address that you're looking for, it would be very frustrating because you couldn't find the address, especially if you couldn't get another telephone book. But in fact, the home would still be there. And the same goes for files. Files stay until other files overwrite that same space. So what the Norton utilities did was went into the directory and was able to find where this file, the only thing it couldn't find was that the first letter was K, was located, and it quick unerased it. Another of my favorite programs, Norton utilities, especially for the 110, is a utility called data sort. What you see on your screen right now is a listing of my files. And as you can see, there's the name of the file, and then the 3-letter extension, and then the number of bytes in the file, the date the file was created, and then the particular time of the day that it was created. Now, one of the things on the 110 and Portable Plus is that we want to conserve RAM space. So we're always on the lookout of files that we can get rid of or back up onto our external disk drive. One way of finding what those largest files are is to use the data sort command. Right now, the list of files are seemingly at random. They're not ordered in any way. What I'm going to do now is order them according to file size. So I'm going to type the Norton command ds with a space and then s for sort and press return. And it tells me that it's actually sorted the directory by S for, the second S means size. I'll do a dir, and you can see that the files are listed in increasingly big order. It turns out the QU, the Quick On Erase program, is the biggest file. It's almost 10K, just under 10K. But that cache budget file is almost 8K, and maybe we can get rid of it now if we wanted to conserve RAM space. As it happens, we have plenty of RAM. It says that we have 720,000 bytes free, so for now we don't have to worry about it. But maybe we want to look at the file, the directory ordered by the name. We want to sort it by the name, so we can go ds for data sort, n for name, we press return. Norton tells us that it's done the sort. We do a dir, and the files are listed alphabetically. There are many other Norton utilities that I'm not going to list in here. Another one of my favorites is that often I have a number of different letters or memos on my disk, and I can't remember which one has which phrase in it. Maybe it was a letter to a business letter, and I don't remember what I called the file. I could use a Norton command to actually search through all the files and look for specific text and then tell me what files have that text. Again, I would highly, highly recommend the Norton utilities to anyone. Editor 2, a word processor designed for HP portables, vastly superior to Memo Maker, yet just as easy to use. We've been talking about Memo Maker in the HP 110 and Portable Plus because it's built into the 110, and many, many Portable Plus users have Memo Maker. And it's a very easy to use, simple program where you can easily create letters and memos and so on. But as your needs get a little bit more sophisticated and you want a little more power, I'd very strongly recommend a product called the Editor 2. And here I'm just listing one of the manuals that we send when we send out the Editor 2. It's a tutorial here, and it comes along with a reference manual. So let's just take a quick look at the editor to see some of the features that are in the editor that aren't in Memo Maker and why you might want to add it to either your 110 or Portable Plus. So we'll move the cursor as usual and get into the editor. And it asks us what file we want to edit, and we're going to edit our usual file, keypad. And to get our menu, instead of there's no labels at the bottom, we'll use a Lotus type menu. So if we press escape, the escape key, a menu pops up on the top. And here we see a number of different options. And it's really beyond the scope of this tape to go through the whole product. But I'd like to show you just several features that are in the editor that aren't in Memo Maker. And to explain also how much faster it is, just to mention how much faster it is to go through a file, especially as it gets a little bit bigger, 2 or 3 pages in the editor than Memo Maker. So suppose we want to replace a word in the editor. What we would do is we could move the cursor over to the replace command, and press return. Now I'm going to always move the cursor over to the command in this demonstration, but we could have just typed the letter R if we wanted to. So we're going to replace. And what are we going to replace? Let's replace the word SAW, which is saw, with another term, seen, S-E-E-N. And this is a frequent activity that people want to do, is they want to replace one set of words or with another. And so we'll press return, and it jumps immediately to the instance of SAW. And we want to replace all instances, and so we're just going to press return. And that was the only instance, and so now we've changed the word saw to seen. This ability to search, if we press escape, S for search, which is similar to replace, is a very important function in a word processor. So let's just search for ADV for advertisement. And we'll do that, and it immediately asks us whether we want to go forward or backward, and we want to go forward, and we jump ahead to advertisement. Another feature in the editor that's very powerful that's not found in Memo Maker is the ability to edit two files at once. So let's call in another file. We're going to go escape, file, other, and we're going to edit a file which has been created before, which we'll call names. It was called names, N-A-M-E-S, and we bring that in, and it's actually a list of names. Now, if we want to go back to the other file, because we, for one reason or another, we want to refer to two files at once, we go escape, and then move the cursor to file, and then move the cursor to O for other, and we're in the other file. Now, if we want to go back to our names file, we can again go escape, and this time I'm going to just type the letters file, other, and we're back again. And so we can easily go back and forth between files. Another facility lets us look at both of those files at once. We can actually window. So we're going to press the escape and then move the cursor over to window. And we want two windows. And what we have is we see both of the files at once. And this is great because it's easy to capture text, for example, from one file and put it into the other, just moving back and forth. You can move between windows by just going escape, window, and then we can move the cursor to other window. And you notice the cursor is down here. We've just moved from back and forth. Now, one thing that many users may get tired of, you press escape and then W, then E. It's actually, once you get used to it, it's not a big deal at all. In fact, it's faster and easier than pressing the function keys because those are awkward to get to. However, if you do get tired, there's a keyboard macro facility that's built into our latest version of the editor where you can program a series of keys, like let's say escape file window, to one key. I would say Control W, and you could press the Control key and the W if we had it pre-programmed, and you jump from window to window. So let's exit the editor now, and we just press escape, move the cursor to file, and then we go to quit, and it asks us whether we want to abandon changes without saving. We do, and we're left with just one of the files. We've just exited one of the files, so we go escape, file, quit once again, and we're out of the editor and back into PAM. Spelling checkers for the HP portables. Webster's New World Spelling Checker for the Portable Plus. Word Plus Spelling Checker for the HP 110. One of the most popular utilities that any writer would like, and most of us are writers, is a spelling checker. And even the best of spellers can make typographical errors, and most of us don't fall into the category of the best of spellers. And so a spelling checker, a computerized spelling checker, is a wonderful product for our use when we're writing business correspondence and other letters, and naturally we don't want to have misspelled words. On the HP 110, there's a product called the Word Plus, and that works very well with the 16-line screen of the HP 110, and you can use it to check Memo Maker files. On the Portable Plus, we recommend a product called the Webster's New World Spelling Checker. You can see over there. And that particular spelling checker has a dictionary of 110,000 words. And our company, Personalized Software, has, in arrangements with Simon & Schuster, has actually put that spelling checker into ROM. So let's take a look at Webster's. We're going to spell check our favorite file, our keypad. And so let's move to Webster's and press return. And very shortly we will find ourselves in Webster's spelling check. And it first asks us a simple question about where we have a configuration file. And we just answer A because that's where it is. And then it asks us another question where we press return. And now we simply enter the document name of the file that we want to spell check. So put that in, keypad, and it's not found. It turns out that we have to do one other thing. We have to tell it that it's on the A drive. So we'll do that. Press return. And it's telling us, as you can see, it's loading a dictionary. It's reading the document. And it tells us the document contains 580 words. And it's actually going through its dictionary. It's up to the letter P right now. And in a second we'll be done. And it's come up with what it's been nice enough to call questionable words. It's not going to come right out and say they're misspelled. And the nice thing about Webster's, unlike most other spelling checkers, it gives us a choice. We can directly enter our document, or we can escape to preview questionable words. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to actually look at the 15 or 18 words that it found that it thought was misspelled. And so we'll press escape, and there is a number of words. Now, in fact, I did purposely misspell a couple words, like accountant, and so we'll leave that. It says here that question mark, this is not okay, stop during editing, and that's what we want. We have another choice, and this will be clear what I'm saying in a minute, that this word is okay, don't stop during the edit scan, or this word is okay and add it to our dictionary. So accountant is not okay, and neither is auxiliary. But backslash we're going to go with it. It's okay. And it says here in our instructions, again, always look at instructions on the screen. Press enter to change the symbol in front of any of the above words. And the symbols tell Webster the following. So we're going to press return, which is the Portable Plus equivalent to the enter key. And notice the question mark changed to minus. And in fact, maybe we want to add it to our dictionary, so we'll change that to plus. And then we'll move down, and I don't know what the DN is, so we'll leave that as question mark. Excuses is obviously misspelled. HP key, it happens that it has a meaning in this particular document, so I want to just make that a minus. In other words, just pass it. We'll pass it again. Keypad's okay. Memo Maker, that's the way to spell it. A worksheet's okay. Warshaw's the name of the fellow who wrote the article. Shelp is the name of one of our products. Recalculation, I think that's correct, but we'll see what happens here. Reworked is okay, re-enter is okay, I know that that's all right, numlock's okay, and MS-DOS is okay. So we're going to actually, when it's time to actually look at our document, there's only 5 words that it's going to check. Now it says press escape when you're ready to edit your document, so we press escape. And the first word in question is accountant. I've misspelled that. And it offers me some possible spelling, so I don't even have to type in any other way. So I move the cursor down to what I think is the right spelling, and I press return. And then it says plus enter to confirm, so I'll press return again. And accountant has been changed, and now we go to excuses. Turns out it gives me the right spelling of excuses. And notice, by the way, that accountant has been spelled correctly now because of our last change. And so again, I press return, and have to press return again to enter excuses, and auxiliary, and it gives us a different spelling of auxiliary. It's interesting because this was not one of the words I had purposely misspelled, so on the portable paper somehow it got by, and we didn't check this properly. So I'll press return, and return again, and recalculation, and I guess it just wasn't aware of this word. And so actually recalculation is fine. And so I'm just going to press return again, and down, we're talking about page down, and so that's okay, so I'll press return, and I'm done. And it's asked me, I remember we were going to add one word to our backslash to our dictionary, and it asked me if I really want to do this. And so I'm going to answer yes. And it told us that we have an error writing to drive B. And the reason why it gave us the error is because on this particular plus, we're using it for demonstration purposes, and I hadn't bothered transferring the dictionary over from the B drive or the ROM drive to the RAM drive. And now it's nice that this came up because we can illustrate a couple points and sort of summarize some of the things that we've talked about in the lecture. Because Webster's Spelling Checker is in ROM, it thinks that the dictionary is in ROM because we haven't told it otherwise. And remember, ROM, you cannot write to it. It's in other words, you cannot change anything in ROM. So when the computer tried to write to the ROM, it gave us an error message. And so we do want to ignore. So let's see what happens. We can either press A for abort, R for retry, or I for ignore. Let's see what happens. We press I, and it still gives us the same error message. So why don't we just type A for abort, and we'll be exiting Webster. But in the meantime, the changes have been made to our document. Shelp, pop-up notepad, calculator, keyboard macro facility, system off. Shelp is a very useful product. In fact, Hewlett-Packard itself thought the product was so good that they ordered 1,000 copies of it for their HP portable users. So let's just take a quick look, and you'll see exactly why the product is so popular within Hewlett-Packard and other Portable Plus users. Now let's say we were in Memo Maker. So let's just get back into Memo Maker. And let us say we get our usual file, which is good old keypad. Now, suppose we're in keypad and we need to make a calculation. What we would do, because Shelp is installed, is hold down the Control, Shift, and Extend character keys, and up pops a menu in the middle of the screen. And it gives us 4 different options. One option is calculator. So we press return, and we can do a very simple calculation. Let's say we want to multiply 45 and then asterisk. Remember that's usually how you do multiplication in computers, 45 times 63. And the result is 2,835. And say I wanted to add that in our Memo Maker document, I could press the letter P, and the number 283500 not only was calculated but added to my Memo Maker document. Now suppose let's say I'm in Memo Maker again, which I am, and I press Control, Shift, Extend Character, and I could now go to my notepad. And what I get here when I do that is a little notepad. And so suppose I was working on one document, but I just wanted to remind myself, oh, I have to call home. So I've got a little notepad with reminders. I press Escape. And then every time I want, I can pop up that notepad, Control, Shift, Extend Character, and then N for notepad. And I can pop that up or add to my notepad. Similarly, if I'm in Lotus or another application, Time Manager, I could pop up my notepad or my calculator. Now let's look at another example, Control, Shift, Extend Character, and keyboard macros. What I have is I can create up to 26 different macros. Now, what a macro is a succession of keystrokes. So suppose I wanted to sign my name and I knew that I used my name often. I could go H-A-L, my name, Goldstein, and let's backspace, make that an N. And I've assigned that to the letter A. Now here's how I use it. Let's go to the end of our memo maker file so that I can see. I'm going to go Control Shift. Actually, I'm going to go Control Extend Character and A, and you see Hal Goldstein gets printed out on my screen. So if I could put addresses or even a number of different kinds of wording or letters and numbers in my keyboard macro facility. In fact, when I use the built-in term program that we illustrated before, what I do is I put in a telephone number in that ATDT, and then I just press a couple keys, the extend character tree, the control key, and a letter, and the phone number types out automatically. The final function that's very nice, we do Control Shift Extend Character Key, and we get into Shelp, and it gives us the option to turn the system off at any point. So we move the cursor to O, press Return, and the system is off. The WorldPort 1200 and 2400 baud modems. If you have an HP 110, you have a 300 baud modem built in, and if you have a Portable Plus, you have a 1200 baud modem built in. If you do a lot of data communications, talking to other computers, you may want a faster modem. And there are wonderful portable modems that are available through our company that will give you this ability to transfer data at faster rates. There's the WorldPort 1200 baud modem and the WorldPort 2400 baud modem. Now, to connect these modems to the Portable Plus, all you have to do is use a serial cable that we supply with the modem, and you would just simply plug the cable in the right way, and then you would connect the other end to the HP Portable, and you could then use the Datacom configuration F5 from PAM to tell the system that you're talking to an external modem, and you'll also need F6 system config. It just takes about a minute to do, and then you could be talking to other computers at a much faster baud rate. Personalized Software has over 60 products for the HP 110 and Portable Plus. Just give us a call at 515-472-6330, and we'll be happy to send you one of our catalogs or tell you more about any of the products we've either shown here or any of our other products that are available for the HP 110 or Portable Plus. We also have products for the Hewlett-Packard 150, which is the touchscreen computer. And many of the products that do work on the portables, like the editor, for example, that we just showed, or the Webster spelling checker, work quite nicely on the 150. And so if you have a 150, be sure to call us, and we'll be able to supply you the catalog. So you could get, for example, WordPerfect 5.0 to run very nicely on your HP 150. Finally, you should know about our portable equipment exchange. The HP 110 and Portable Plus are wonderful machines. And perhaps the only bad part about the machines was the original price tag. The HP 110 sold for $3,000, and the HP Portable Plus can be configured easily to $5,000, $6,000. What we've done is we've bought used computers, quite often from large companies who for one reason or another, have moved to another computer. And we have a number of HP 110s and Portable Pluses used in stock. Because these are such rugged, durable machines, a used computer, a used portable, is almost as good as a new portable. And we're so sure about that, we actually guarantee these portables for a year. So if anything goes wrong in any way, we'll fix it for you or replace the unit. We also give you a 30-day money-back guarantee, so if you're dissatisfied with our used equipment, just return it, and we'll be happy to refund your investment. We have a number of different portable products, portable peripherals that we have used, and we're more than happy to consult with you and to determine your needs. And the advantage of buying used is the obvious advantage, which is price. That $3,000 HP 110 you can purchase for $595 through our portable equipment exchange. A $6,000 HP Portable Plus you can purchase for between $2,000 and $2,500. So give us a call if you are interested. I've enjoyed very much giving you this information about the HP 110 and Portable Plus, and all I can say is happy porting.